feel rotten enough being lied to, Becky. Now don't compound things.
I didn't lie to you. And yeah, we had lunch, Phil. That's all we had. Why don't you just, come on, why don't you just take your funny nose, put on your glasses, and hide out behind the drugstore, continue your stakeout, and I'll try not to undress by the window, okay?
Becky, I'm not doing this out of idle curiosity.
I know why you're doing this, Phil. Look, you're jealous, you're scared of losing me, and I'm very flattered. But don't you think you're carrying this heartbroken friend routine just a little too far?
Becky, I told you I love you.
Well, then why don't you do what I ask and just leave me alone?
I can't.
So where'd you get the walk?
The walk?
The walk, you're walking.
What do you mean, putting one foot in front of the other? I mean, that's what works best for me.
That's the walk that works best for all of us, honey.
Hey, look, there's no us about you and I.
All right, all right. I was trying to give you a compliment. You know, you better settle down. Worrying just makes this cell smaller.
You are what makes this cell seem smaller.
I practically live here. You're the guest. I'd rather be alone, too, or with one of my own.
Huh, thank you.
So how come that lover of yours hasn't bailed you out yet?
Because a violation of a court order is a non-bailable offense. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here longer than an hour.
Is that faithful, huh?
He practically lives for me.
So how come he hasn't visited you?
Well, he's very influential, and it wouldn't look right coming here.
Well, if he's so influential, why are you here?
Well, I didn't say he owned the legal system.
You said he was in with every commissioner in the county.
Hey, what is this, Babs? The interrogation room? I mean, that's down the hall. This is a detaining cell, so why don't you just sit down and detain?
You're one of us, all right. Should change the name, though.
To what? Babs? Sounds like a monkey with a cup full of pencils.
It's short for Barbara.
Oh, right. But all the guys just call you Babs, right? Good old anytime, day or night Babs. A little too much dignity in Barbara, right?
You know, kid, I got my limits.
Don't call me kid, even if you are twice my age.
And you've seen half as much of the world as I have.
Honey, I'm not interested in seeing your half of the world.
Take away the big-time lovers, the 4-bedroom apartments, and you're already there.
Hey, look, fish face. You and I are as different as day and night, just like the hours we work.
You don't work. You leech off a bunch of love-starved, middle-aged perverts. At least I get paid outright.
Hey, there's no bunch. There's one man. Get it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's the guy who was too ashamed to be seen springing you from jail. How touching.
Charles has not deserted me.
Charles? Would that be, Charles Carpenter?
How did you know that?
Oh, let's say a little bird told me. A little bird named Norman.
What did he tell you?
Just that Charles and an attorney hired somebody to torch Hollister Square.
You better shut up, lady, because I've just had it with you. Do you understand?
Oh, Charles, help me. Save me from these terrible, ugly, pitiful, what word would you use? Call girls.
You better be quiet, lady.
Okay, okay. It's all right. I don't mind. Names are important. After all, that's the only thing left separating you from me.
You better take that back, lady, or you're just gonna...
All right, settle down. Come on, Lawson.
I can go?
After we return some personal belongings.
Enjoy your time off. Be careful crossing the street.
When I run into Charles, I'll tell him you said hello.
Make a thumbprint here verifying that these are your personal belongings.
What's happened? Why am I getting out?
Judge Slatemaker rescinded the order. You're free to go.
She rescinded? Why?
I think maybe the other prisoners got together a petition naming you as a bad influence.
Hey, look it.
Don't open your mouth. You're not out of the building yet. There you are.
What are you doing here?
Came to see that you were released.
You got me out?
I went to see Judge Slaymaker, yes.
Let me guess, you were miserable without someone to antagonize.
Nancy, I didn't want to see you in jail. This is no place to start a reconciliation.
Oh, really? And where is? With you on a throne and me on my knees? We can be best of friends?
Nancy, please. It wasn't easy getting you out of here.
Oh, really? And putting me in wasn't a breeze either, but you didn't mind.
I don't believe you.
Well, look it. You got me into this mess. Don't expect me to congratulate you for getting me out. I mean, you baited me with Nora's house. You reeled me in with this fourth copy of the will. I played the perfect fool, didn't I? Well, I'm never gonna fall for something like this again.
You went out of your way to help her.
I certainly hope this great news you have is worth my coming over here.
No problem there. What I've got will quell your greatest fear.
You're resigning as my attorney.
Look at here. Look what I found on page 27 of this evening's newspaper.
Death on Hollister Square due to natural causes?
We're innocent. Old man Lasky was dead 24 hours before the fire was set.
How on earth did you manage to find it?
Well, let's just say it pays to stay informed.
Well, I have to admit it's marvelous news. And I could certainly use a lot more of it.
Come on, Charles. We're not liable for a homicide charge. Oh, we got all the permits now for Hollister Mall. I'd say things are looking up.
Maybe for us.
Well, excuse my cynicism, but since when did we ever worry about anything other than us?
Nancy Lawson is in jail. Doesn't that bother you at all?
Well, she's not in Alcatraz, and she's not serving a life term.
The point is she's incarcerated.
Well, don't you think that maybe spending a little bit of time in jail might kind of take the edge off her personality?
I happen to like her personality just the way it is.
Yeah, well, she doesn't walk all over you.
That's because I don't let her. Harold, I've lost more sleep over Nancy, I don't mind telling you, than any vagrant down in the Hollister Square tenements.
Well, it's like I told you on the telephone. She violated a court order. It's a non-bailable offense. And even for all my eloquence, I don't see how I can get Judge Slaymaker to change her decision. You know, I don't think I know why you're so broken up about this thing anyway. I mean, if it was me, I'd just forget about her. All right, look, now, you had a couple of good nights, huh? Keep a perspective on this thing.
You know, Harold, your advice to the lovelorn is as bad as your advice as a lawyer.
Love? That's what you feel towards Nancy?
If anything breaks on this, I want you to call me immediately.
Charles, you can't be serious.
Miriam, I know you're in there. Nancy? Nancy, where have you been? Nancy, I'm out of medicine. Why haven't you been here?
I've been sort of tied up. Is your father here?
No, you know that. He's living with you.
Oh, yeah, well, it's just I hadn't seen him in a little while, that's all.
I'm really happy you're here. Did you bring me some medicine?
You're looking kind of pale.
I know. You wouldn't know and believe what I've been through because my mouth is so dry, and it seems that when I try to get up, I just keep nodding off, but at night my eyes are just frozen open. You have to help.
You know what you need? A live-in nurse.
I know, I need someone. This place is getting to feel like a prison.
I know the feeling.
Won't you go get me something, please, as soon as possible?
I wasn't kidding, Miriam. Maybe what you need is me to come here and stay and look after you and...
do you mean? Oh, Nancy, that would be nice.
Well, now, don't get all excited. I'm not making any promises. I'm just saying that you need someone to do more than retrieve prescriptions and dole out the candy.
Oh, I know. You don't know how much that would really mean to me. Do you know, the guest room, that's a nice room. It's really nice for you.
Well, look, I'm not coming here for the accommodations. It's just that you're my best friend and you need the help.
And we could have a lot of fun together, too. We could just put the past behind us and start living again.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy, please, would you please move in with me?
I guess he could use these clean clothes.
Oh, yeah. I've been having to recycle what little I bought through the hotel cleaning service.
Well, that must get awfully expensive.
Yep, and Jimmy's getting tired of wearing the same thing every other day.
Well, where is he?
Out shooting baskets with some friends. And now that it's warm, I let him walk home.
Shooting baskets. I remember when he came running home one summer, all excited because he could hit the rim with the ball.
Well, pretty soon, you'll be shooting up like a weed, and then we'll both have to start buying clothes.
Seems like he's been doing a lot of growing here lately. I miss him, Carla. And I suppose I would like to have him back home with me, but I guess that's selfishness.
Well, I understand your feelings, Mama. And I appreciate what you're trying to do, letting me and Jean work this out.
Right. But I don't quite see you two doing that.
Well, accept it on faith, then.
Oh, I learned a long time ago about faith. I also learned that it's to be placed in fact, not dreams.
Mama, I love you, but please, no sermons.
I don't give them to hear myself talk, you know.
No. You give them because you think you're helping me, and I respect you for that. But I'm not that little helpless newlywed that lived with you all those years ago. I've learned some things for myself.
Now you got all the answers.
No, not all the answers. But I know that's what's important for my son and for me.
Well, it seems to me that world of yours is broken into a million pieces. Now, how you expect to build a normal life on that?
I have to believe that Jean and I will work this out.
He's still waiting for you to come back, you know.
No. He told me to my face that he's sorry that I came back and he can't wait till I'm gone. I'm out of Jean's life. And I don't plan on returning, and he certainly doesn't want me back.
Why, there he is!
Grandma, what are you doing here?
I just came to visit my favorite grandchild.
I missed you.
No, you mustn't say that. You don't want to hurt your mother's feelings.
Oh, she knows I miss her when I'm at your house, just like I miss Dad when I'm here. Everywhere I go, I'm missing someone.
It won't always be like that, Jimmy.
You mean we're all going home?
No, not that. I mean, you'll get used to whatever happens. You'll adapt.
What does that mean?
You'll see. In time.
All right, Miriam, I'll move in.
Well, Nancy, that's just fantastic. You don't know how much this is really going to mean to me.
Well, anything for a friend, Miriam, you know.
Well, it's certainly not the way I thought this week was going to end, because Norman Elliott, he was here and he tried to tell me you were in jail or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something about a restraining order, and that I don't know. I guess I believed him at first.
But you don't now. I mean, if I had done whatever Norman said I would, they wouldn't let a hardened criminal out in the street, would they?
Well, maybe not. Maybe he's the one that needs to see the doctor after all.
I don't know, Miriam. He's not sick. He's just very crafty. And you know, he lied to you. He's not really your friend, Miriam.
Oh, I know. I know who my friends are, Nancy.
Well, good. It's about time that you came to your senses.
Miriam, it's me.
Oh,
Nancy.
Daddy, hi. What are you doing here?
Well, I came over to see how you were doing, but I see that you have a surprise visitor.
She's not half as surprised as you are, no doubt.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I came to see my very good friend, Miriam.
But I thought that...
Yeah, well, never mind what you thought. Miriam, why don't you just go and get those vials for the prescriptions that you need?
The ones, well, I don't know if I know where they all
just go
are.
find them, okay? Where were you?
Well, I got your message at the hotel.
What, by a one-wing carrier pigeon?
Well, I called Webster as soon as I found out. What was I supposed to do?
Point one, you could have started by not walking out on me.
Would you prefer that we both went to jail?
Shh. Miriam doesn't know anything about this, and I don't want her to know either. Now, you can start by running out on your wife and running out on your daughter, but you're not going to run out on me, you hear?
I didn't leave you, Nancy.
Point two, how come you didn't do anything to get me out of there?
No bail was set.
I'm not talking about bail. I'm talking about this great pull you have with authorities that you keep bragging about.
Nancy, I cannot override a judge's decision.
That judge's husband happens to be your business partner, George Slaymaker. What about that?
Oh, sure. Excuse me, George. My lady is in jail. Could you get her out for me?
I am not your lady. In fact, I'm not even your friend. And I don't even want to talk with you until I hear a full apology, understand?
Nancy, I don't think I...
Stick him in here.
Nancy, you're not leaving, are you?
No, I'm not. Not this house, at least.
What?
Listen, I'll be right back. Not a word about my favors, okay?
Daddy? You two have a falling out?
It's got no build. I wrote lyrics with a build. It puts it... Hey, Phil, what's up?
Why don't you tell me?
I was just going over some sheet music. What's wrong?
As I was coming over here, I saw Russ and some older guy leaving.
Yeah, that's Russ's father. They went out for Chinese food, but they'll be back any minute. Is that what you're so bothered about?
No. This afternoon, after I was politely uninvited to your lunch date with Cohen, I hung around outside. Cohen never left for lunch. Neither did you.
Can't we change our minds?
Yeah, you can change your mind. I just prefer you'd level with me when you do.
Well, we changed our minds after you left. What am I supposed to do, call you up and say we decided to eat in instead of go to a restaurant?
You sure you had lunch?
What's that supposed to mean?
Becky, I feel rotten enough being lied to. Now, don't compound things.
I didn't lie to you. Yeah, we had lunch, and that's all that we had. Why don't you just, put on your glasses and your little funny nose, go hide behind the drugstore and continue this stakeout. I'll try not to undress under the window, okay?
Becky, I'm not doing this out of idle curiosity.
I know why you're doing it, Phil. You're jealous, you're afraid of losing me, and I'm very flattered, but I think that you're carrying this heartbroken friend routine a little too far.
Becky, I told you I love you.
Well, then why don't you just do what I ask and leave me alone?
I can't.
Phil! Look, I told you that Vince and Russ might be back here any minute. Don't touch me.
Becky,
Don't say anything. Just leave.
I've thought it over, Mr. Webster. And I've considered everything you've told me about my rights as a parent.
And?
Divorce is the only decision to be made.
I see. And, you've talked this over with your husband?
Hardly. The decision was mine alone.
Well, then maybe I ought to review what's involved in a divorce. You're facing a very long, financially and emotionally draining ordeal. Get it through your head that amicable settlements and businesslike expediency are rarely the case.
You sound as if you're advising me to just take Jimmy and run.
You still got the boy?
Yes. But I can tell him, Mrs. Jean.
Well, it might not be a bad idea to take him. I mean, of course, there's always no-fault divorce, but from what you've told me about your husband, I doubt he'd acquiesce to that arrangement.
He'd have the choice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could say no to your no-fault appeal and go for custody on the basis of desertion.
Well, can you counter a move like that?
In time. Which brings me back to my hint. Now, look, unless Mr. Redland has had a complete change of heart, this could drag on for months. Now, I can't think of any reason why you shouldn't keep the boy well out of even visiting distance of his father. In fact, relocating and bringing up your son on your own while the legal matters are being settled, well, it might help reestablish you as a fit and caring mother.
That would tear Jean apart, and my mother-in-law, too.
Ma'am, you can't stop that. Now, the sooner they part with the boy, the sooner they're going to get used to it.
Look, I got a little impulsive. I'm sorry. It's easy for you to be mad. You don't feel what I feel.
Phil, why don't you just leave, okay? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Look, you think I like being like this? You think I like being this vulnerable?
We're both going to be vulnerable if Ross walks in that door.
He doesn't scare me anymore. Neither does Cohen. You know, it all kind of falls together once you finally know what you want. Once you realize what you can't do without. And I need you.